Hello and welcome to another audio analysis. In today's video we're taking a look at the track Ain't Got Time by the Swedish rock band Royal Republic. This is the fourth track to be released from the band's upcoming fifth studio album titled LoveCop. We've already got to hear some interesting sounds with the three previous tracks in the form of My House, LoveCop and Laser Love, as the band continue to show them doing what they do best, providing rock and roll with a very strong twist of fun incorporated into so much of their music. That's what it's all about for them. It's about bringing that energy, and we've certainly seen that as they continue to build on the Club Majesty style by bringing in elements of disco, but we have especially seen more elements of that power ballad rock really coming through, especially on tracks such as Laser Love, but doing it in a very unique style by bringing in these synths and using them to great effect. Will this latest track, however, be a timeless classic or simply run out of time? Let's take a look at exactly how it sounds.
I ain't got time to dance. I ain't got time to boogie. I ain't got time. I ain't got time. I ain't got time to dance. I ain't got time to talk. No time for conversation. I ain't got time. I ain't got time. I ain't got time to talk. Look out. I ain't got time for cash. I ain't got time for money. I ain't got time. I ain't got time. I ain't got time for cash. I ain't got time to lose. I got no time for winning. I ain't got time. I ain't got time. I ain't got time to lose. Gonna make some time for you. And you make some time for me too. Gonna make some time for you. 'Cause you gotta make time for love. Well, the beat goes on to the break of dawn, but I gotta keep on running, and I don't stop when the sun goes up. 'Cause I'm looking around the clock. Woo! I ain't got time to dance. I ain't got time to boogie. I ain't got time. I ain't got time. I ain't got time to dance. Gonna make some time for you, and you make some time for me too. Gonna make some time for you. 'Cause you gotta make time for love. Gonna make some time for you. Yeah, you make some time for me too. Gonna make some time for you. 'Cause you gotta make time for love. I ain't got time to talk. No time for conversation. I ain't got time. I ain't got time. I ain't got time to talk. Gonna make some time for you. And you make some time for me too. Gonna make some time for you. 'Cause you gotta make time for love. Gonna make some time for you. And you make some time for me too. Gonna make some time for you. 'Cause you gotta make time for love. 'Cause you gotta make time for love. 'Cause you gotta make time for love. Yeah. 'Cause you gotta make time for love. 'Cause you gotta make time for love.
Okay, definitely a very quick but short burst of energy really coming through from the band on this track. Very different to the first three that we did get to hear. You can see from the outfits they're actually kind of referencing back to the songs such as Baby, which did feature on their 2016 album Weekend Man, where these stylings as well, where we do see a lot of repetition really coming through. The idea of this track is to be that earworm. You ain't got time to dance or boogie or do all these things because you should be making time for love. And I like the way that they're kind of talking about how couples have both got to reciprocate in this instance. You got to make time for each other to make that relationship work effectively. It's something the band have often really referenced to in some of their other kind of tracks that they've released over the years, really exploring the idea of love being one of the most important things. And we even see that with songs such as Laser Love as well. But it'd be interesting to see where they're going to incorporate all the different styles from their different albums onto this upcoming one, because we did see different eras of the band, with rock being very prevalent at the start of their career as they've moved more into disco with Club Majesty, whereas the first three tracks did kind of reference more to that Club Majesty era, but we may see some other tracks on the album go further back in their discography and then pulling everything together into their house. So they may be linking everything together. One thing I really did love about this track though was the very Daft Punk inspired kind of guitar that we do have coming through from Hans. It's pretty much been borrowed from Robot Rock, so I kind of like the way they brought that in. It did make me kind of chuckle as soon as we heard that section come into the track, but I definitely don't think it packs the same power on this track as we have seen on those previous 3 tracks. It's a very fun little quick burst of energy, and it kind of feels like a little bit of a filler on the album, the way that it just has that quick danceability to it. It's not too overcomplicated, it's very simple kind of rock elements coming through, so there's not really too much to discuss with the actual track itself. It's just meant to be that earworm that really does get stuck in your head, and maybe just is the first showing of whether they'll expand into the different eras on this upcoming album. One of the simple messages I really do like about this track though is the way that it looks at the fact that many people in today's world don't have enough time to do the things they want to do because they don't make time for it, because they spend so much time working and they don't get the time to effectively play. So this song ultimately is kind of about that idea of making time for yourself. Got to make some time for you if you make some time for me too. So looking at the idea, you've got to make the time to actually kind of have that downtime. Don't just work yourself to the bone. Have a day off effectively. You don't have to be constantly working at something 24/7 and just watching life race past you. So the idea of Adam being on the treadmill, just the fact that these hours just seem to roll by, the sun goes up and down, rocking around the clock. So just really having that time to effectively pour yourself a drink and just really just enjoy the good moments in life. So a very simple, clear-cut message, and that constant I ain't got time just kind of shows this constant message of people not making time for the things that they want to do. How often do you say no to maybe doing something because you're too busy doing something else? So the things you really want to do, you've got to start making that time. You've got to kind of spend time doing the things you love and not allow kind of just this life to race past you, to kind of pass you by, and always make time for love, because that's exactly what the band really love to highlight in so much of their music. So a very simple, clear-cut message of allowing that time for yourself to do the things that you want to do and not just being kind of weighed down by having to constantly work every moment of every day. So there we have it, the timely arrival of the band's 4th track from LoveCop. But I would love to know your thoughts about this in the comments section. Well, how do you think it lives up to the other 3 tracks that we have heard? Definitely has that much more just simple beat to it, but certainly doesn't pack, I feel, the same power as those previous tracks. But I would love to know exactly what your thoughts are, and whether you're glad to see the return of the outfits from the Baby music video and that era from Weekend Man. Also, if you would like to see more Royal Republic content, I have covered the previous tracks from this upcoming album in separate videos, so you can find links to those in the description of this one. And if you'd like to see more content like this overall, then please do feel free to subscribe, and I will see you in the next audio analysis.